All right, guys, so it's been a few weeks, maybe a week or two since our last video, and we have a little bit of an update here today. So let's look at the map right here. Here's our boat. Here's our ship right here. As you can see, it's right near Florida. So we are a few hours away from docking into the port here in Florida. So this is gonna be where the car is getting off the ship. And it's a pretty big moment here, guys. This will be the first time this car is gonna be on US soil. So it's a pretty big step, guys. And I'm pretty excited about it here. So I've been doing some stuff here in the background here, making a lot of calls to different people here, even today, just before I made this video here, just trying to arrange everything so this thing goes as smooth as possible. So now that this thing here is gonna be landing pretty soon, you wanna get all your ducks in a row, pay all your fees from your shipping container to whatever. All these bills have to be paid, and I have a lot of paperwork on the desk here. But the main thing for me right now is trying to get the insurance for the car. That should be done pretty soon. One more thing I want to talk about is the actual export certificate. So now if you have a pretty good exporter or company that you bought the car from, you might get your export certificate translated. And depending on what state you're in, that could be accepted. In my case, I don't know if it's going to be accepted. And that's the reason why we're doing all this planning right now, so that when we go to the DMV or to the customs or wherever we're going, we have all our paperwork that's required to get the car. In my case here, I did try to get a second translation. Now the one I have works pretty well. It's a clear translation of the export certificate, but some states and cities may want a certified translation. And I did do that recently, and I do have my certificate here translated. There's a lot of personal information on here. But this one is pretty cool. I have a seal, a certificate, and a stamp saying this thing here was translated by a certified translator. So pretty cool. This costs between 50 and 75 bucks. So you might want to consider that when you're doing your process. Now, in my case, I am going to try to register this car with the regular translation and see if it works. And if not, then I'll have the actual certified one right here as well, just to see if it's gonna work, that's all. But I don't wanna get there and say, oh crap, I don't have a certified translated copy of my export certificate and not get my car registered. So I have that, that's done. Insurance is in the process of being done right now. And for my state, my VIN has to be verified. So there's a couple ways of doing that. I have a form right here from flhsmv.gov. And this just verifies the VIN, the odometer, and make sure that the car is legit, it's not stolen. So this is a pretty cool form. I have it filled out here. I don't know if they have this in the department, and this can vary from state to state. In my case, guys, my region, there's multiple regions in your states. In my case, I have, let's see here, we have 10 regions in Florida. And depending on where you live, you have different regions right here. But in my region, they're only open for this kind of VIN verification on Thursdays and Fridays. So you might want to call in advance. This is also, what website? This is also on the DMV, the same website, yeah, so there you go. But this is for Florida, so flhsmv.gov. All the information is on here. This one here is the Division of Motorist Services, Bureau of Dealer Services, Motor Vehicle Field Operations, Regional Offices. So in certain places, normally where you would register your car, say a regular tax office or DMV, not all of them can do the VIN verification. So you have to go to a regional office and get that done. So I have that form right here as well. And the last two things obviously is the EPA form. This one is the 3520. And then we have the DOT form, the HS7. Now, as you can see, mine is blank, but I do have it here. And this doesn't seem too hard to fill out, guys. Pretty easy. But I do have a broker who is helping me with this process right now, so he will take care of the DOT form and the EPA form. Now the reason I say it is because even if you do this yourself, you still have to get a broker to get some of this stuff filed, like the ISF form and other stuff to get the car into the country legally. So there's really no way around getting a broker to get your car in there unless you have a small key truck or key car that's very light. I think it's under 25 or under 2,000 pounds, doesn't require that. But this car is way over 2,000 pounds, and most cars are. So most likely you have to get a broker to get that done for you. So since I'm hiring a broker and the broker can offer these services for free or for the same cost, then I'm gonna let them do that. So that's one thing you have to fill out is these two forms, or are these two forms here. Now today I was doing a lot of organizing here for this car because we're in the home stretch here, and I had a list of things that has to be done. So we talked about the DOT form, the HS7, and the EPA 3520. In my case, I need to get the 7501, and that's the customs form. Now your broker will be doing that. In my case, they're doing that. And that's gonna be the entry summary form. So once you have those things, you should be good to pick up your car. In my case now, my broker is also gonna have a delivery order, which isn't really necessary, but it helps, you know, the process of picking up the car. So when you go to the port, the entry of the port, you just hand them your delivery order, like you're picking up a delivery. You have a purpose of being on the port, hand it to them, and they know that you're going to a specific area. So that will be taken care of as well. As far as where the car is gonna be, that's gonna be in your arrival notice. The carrier that's shipping your car will send that to you. In my case, I have it right here, and it has the physical address of where the car is going to be. So in my case, everything looks pretty cool. As I said before, we're in the home stretch. Here's the boat right here. Now, it's kind of weird. The estimate for the ship varies. It can vary between, I would say, the maximum 2 or 3 days. In my case, it was supposed to be here today. I don't have a watch on. I don't know why I'm doing that. But today it's not here. But when I did get the arrival notice did have the accurate date on here. It shows tomorrow. But based on the ship's location, it should have been here today. So it could have been here earlier, but since the actual ship, you know, liner says it's gonna be here tomorrow, I noticed that this ship is kind of in a holding pattern. It's going really slow. Last night, this thing was going nowhere, maybe 2 or 3 knots. Right now, it's still going pretty slow. Let's see how fast it's going right now. It's actually going pretty good right now. It's doing 16 knots right here. So it's going pretty good. And as you can see, it's not far from where it's gonna end up eventually, which is a pretty big port, one of the largest ports in the US. And we can take a closer look at it right here. All right, and we can go full screen. And then let's zoom out here a little bit, move this to the side. And here it is right here. As I said, 16 knots, but yesterday it was just hanging out over here, just chilling out. And I guess it can't get there early. If it's supposed to be there in the 9th, you can't get there in the 8th. And I'm sure there's different reasons why. Maybe there's lack of space, or the port is occupied or whatever. It was, I can see it right here actually, we'll see it. There it is right here. This thing was just chilling last night, doing nothing, just making circles. So this thing could have been here today pretty easily and very early, but it is what it is. And as you can see, it came from Texas. That's the last port, and it's gonna go to Florida, and then hopefully eventually goes to Baltimore. And here's the forecast. So in a few hours, it's gonna get there. So tonight, and then tomorrow it should be there. Now, once the ship gets there, it can take between a day to 2 days to both unload and clear the customs process, or custom, you know, I guess process, yeah. Now, there could be some holes on your specific car if it's not clean. Maybe there's soil, whatever on the car. That's why it's really important to get your car clean before it's shipped to the US to avoid this whole thing. Not only that, they're gonna charge you a fee, maybe $200, $300, $400 just to get it clean. So if you have a really good exporter, they will clean it, and in some cases, they will steam clean your car, especially underneath the car. In my case, it should have been done. I was told my car was done like that, so we'll see if there's any issues with mine. Once that's done, I get a notification and I go to pick it up. Now, my broker is gonna send me the actual delivery order or entry summary, and then I can go pick up the car from then. But it's really exciting times. It's in US waters right here, so we are good to go. So we'll see. In the next couple of days, we're gonna go to the port, pick it up, and see the car for the first time. If there's any snags, obviously I'll bring you along and let you know what's going on. I'm gonna bring my cameras with me and see how this goes, guys. So if you're enjoying this information, guys, with these series of videos, hit that like button. It really does help the channel and the algorithm, and push this out to people actually looking for information on how to import a car to the US. Now, as I said before, most of these videos just tells you how to do it. I'm going through it to you live as it's happening to show you what I'm going through, guys. So it's a realistic feel. Having said that, guys, as I said before on the previous video, the hardest part of this whole thing is just waiting for this thing to get here, because you're trying to plan stuff. I'm still in the final phases of planning stuff, you know, and this the difficult part is the small things, like if you don't own a trailer or a truck to tow your car home or whatever, then the date the variable dates that's changing, I'm saying should have been here today, well, it's gonna get here tomorrow. Now I made an appointment for tomorrow to pick it up. That's not gonna happen. So these are little things that you have to factor in, not having a clear, concise date when the car is gonna clear. In my case, I'm hoping it's gonna take a day and a half to clear. So in 2 days, I should be able to go see the car. But these are all variables that can affect your planning. So really consider that, guys. But anyways, thank you for watching. And if you want to see the other parts of this video, what happened, and other tips on how to import your car into the US, well, hit that subscribe button there for you to be notified whenever I do release those videos. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.